Joining us to weigh in is former Acting Customs and Border Patrol Commissioner Mark Morgan, along with U.S. Vice President at the Heritage Foundation for the Institute of National Security and Foreign Policy, James Carafano. Mark and James, welcome this evening. Thank you very much for coming in on your Saturday. Mark, I will start with you. We see the images. How bad is it getting at the border?
Look, let me be very clear to your listeners. We absolutely have a crisis on our southwest border. And let me do something where the Biden administration is not doing. Let me back it up with facts. In February, we saw over 100,000 illegal aliens apprehended at the southwest border. We're seeing daily flows anywhere between 4,000 and 500 to what I learned last week was 6,000 in a single day, 800 unaccompanied minors in a single day, and the statistics keep going on. Under anyone's definition, we absolutely have a crisis on the southwest border, and it's just irresponsible that they continue to spin and lie to the American people, Heather.
Yeah, the unaccompanied minors, I think, have tripled within just the last 3 weeks. James, I want you to listen to this and respond. Nancy Pelosi was questioned about Biden's border crisis, and this is what she said.
I trust the Biden administration's policy to be based on humanitarian and love of children.
Love of children? What exactly does that mean?
Well, first of all, I don't think this is a crisis for the Biden administration. Mm-hmm. They've reversed all of Trump's policies. We actually have an infographic on our website at heritage.org that shows a complete reversal of all the policies. I think the Biden administration's plan is to move illegal immigrants into this country as fast as they possibly can. And they're sending resources at the border, not to help secure the border, but to help bring people in faster. And it's absolutely a humanitarian crisis from every perspective. First of all, you're putting all those aliens at risk to COVID, and they're going to bring COVID in the United States. And the estimates vary significantly, but we're taking thousands of people who are COVID positive every day. We're sending them all over the country. Everybody's paying the cartels to come through. So we're putting millions of dollars into the cartel coffers that they're going to go to China and buy the precursors for fentanyl, come back and flood America with fentanyl to poison our children and poison our communities. Every family, every individual, every child that comes across that border is at risk of exposure, of rape, of being extorted, of being robbed. It's an enormous humanitarian crisis. And incentivizing breaking up families, throwing children all over this country, anywhere else in the world, this would be considered a gross human rights abuse. But Nancy Pelosi thinks it's a humane approach to the border, and I don't think that's right. And you can ask Mark, because he's seen the horrific things that happen up close and personal.
Yeah, Mark, talk a little bit more about that, because I also understand that Border Patrol is only working at 25% capacity right now, while at the same time they've been forced to open these 2 overflow facilities for the unaccompanied minors. AOC, other Democrats, they slammed that when it happened under the Trump administration, but now it's okay.
Yeah, Heather, so look, everybody needs everything that Jim just said is spot on. When I heard Nancy Pelosi talk about love, and they talk about cruel policies, what is cruel, as Jim said, when we have a United States government now that is encouraging, incentivizing, and facilitating mothers and fathers to hand their kids over to the cartels and human smugglers. They transverse a long journey that many get abused on the way. They travel through COVID hotspots. They're shoved in overcrowded, unsanitary stash houses for days and weeks, tractor trailers. They're also being trafficked at the same time they're being smuggled. Look, I could go on and on about the realities, and this is what the government is encouraging and facilitating, all while the cartels are taking money to the bank. It's simply irresponsible and reckless. And look, right now, our facilities, back in 2020, when I was still the acting commissioner, at one point we had less than 500 in our custody in the middle of a global pandemic. Right now, they're near 8,000. CBP is near 8,000 in their custody, and the majority of those are unaccompanied minors because HHS cannot keep up with the flow, and their time in custody in these facilities are skyrocketing. It is an unmitigated disaster. It was preventable. It was a self-inflicted wound, and they're continuing to lie to the American people saying this isn't a crisis.
Yeah, I mean, we're almost out of time, and this is a loaded question, but now that we're already here, And all of these people are streaming in, the ones that are still on their way that aren't going to get the word from Nancy Pelosi or Jen Psaki who say, no, our borders aren't open. They're already on their way. What do we do now?
Well, you're going to see probably 1 million additional illegal aliens enter the United States this year unless we secure the border in the very near future.
Yeah. All right. Well, it is.
And Heather, real quick, right. we need more attorney generals like Attorney General Paxton in Texas to stand up and start challenging this administration. We need states to stand up.
Yeah, it's a humanitarian crisis, a national security crisis. We've got to get it under control. Mark and James, great to see you again. Great to speak with you.
Thank you.